We are already off to a great start of the day, Ross Peterson, because Nebraska just lost to Minnesota, which makes it even more intriguing. And now we're getting ready for Iowa's homecoming showdown against pesky Purdue.
Pesky Purdue is right, man. A team that has been a nightmare for this Hawkeye team the last couple of years, and a nightmare of a matchup in one specific guy, and that's David Bell. But not the same Purdue team we've seen, and not that same Purdue team outside of a few players that have really caused problems for this Hawkeye team. So I'm expecting a fun day for Hawkeyes, but I'm leery. I'm smart enough to know Purdue can bite us.
Well, because it is just interesting because Purdue's won 3 of the last 4, they including that season opener last year, and it's one of those teams where even though Iowa may be better, it may even be superior when it comes to athleticism, even skill positions, there are just some of those teams who every year are just your thorn in your side, right? I mean, that you're clearly better than, but you just can't. You can't swat them away.
Hawkeye fans are familiar with that run with Northwestern. Hawkeye fans are familiar with that run with Wisconsin. Every now and again, there's a team that just kind of has solved the Ferentz puzzle, whatever that is, that we all know is so difficult. And it's hard to play such a steady game of football for so long that you can beat Kirk Ferentz. This Purdue team doesn't try to out Iowa. They're just able to get those big plays off that most teams aren't able to get off. And David Bell is the reason for that the last couple of years.
Is this one of those games you're coming off that emotional win over Penn State, right? I mean, that was a fantastic game, defensive battle. You're getting ready for the bye week next week. Is this – I hate to say it because it's so cliche. Is it right for a letdown?
Trap game type of thing. I'm at home, so if you hear my puppy howling in the background, it's because I'm not
it's good, but it's real. It's authentic.
Yeah, right. Travis, I've thought a lot about that trap game thing and the letdown. I don't think that will happen because of where you started the program here. Everybody that's a part of this Hawkeye football program knows Purdue is not some washover. If this were Illinois, I think I would look at it and go, boy, this is a team you could look past. I mean, not that Illinois is any good. Maybe if it were Minnesota. I'm trying to think of the best example. Purdue is not that example because Purdue's had this team's number. So Kirk Ferentz just has to go to last year, play the video of these guys getting beat by these guys and say, look, this is a tough team. Tater, it's okay, baby.
Iowa has thrived this year. There's no doubt about it on defense, right? And one of the reason they are 6-0 and off to the great start is because of this stat right here. You lead the country in interceptions. You lead the country in takeaways. You got a plus 15 on the turnover margin. Think about it. That's all leading the nation. You're a plus 15, man. Riley Moss is out, who leads the nation in interceptions. Terry Roberts going to step in, but it's just fun to watch this defense on a consistent basis.
Week to week, Travis, they have been so good. I mean, in that entire unit, that's the thing. We knew that the secondary was going to be pretty good. We thought the linebackers were going to be decent. We didn't know about that front 4. Here's what we know. As a group of 11, or really if you include everybody like Jacobs and all the other guys that have played parts of this, that group of 18, 19, 20 guys has been fantastic as a unit. And I mean, like, maybe the best I've ever seen a defensive unit for the Hawkeyes, and that's saying something. We've had some really good defenses. Even while we've been doing the show, this is the best of all of them.
So Aaron says, go Hawks, listening from a deer blind in Conesville, Iowa.
Aaron, we'll try to talk more quiet. Sorry.
And here's the deal, Aaron. If you get a deer, we like jerky heavily peppered, man. Heavily peppered. I do anyway. Are you a deer jerky guy?
My buddy Jobs, who went on the fishing trip with us, brought some of his jerky that he had from a deer that he'd killed this year.
Yeah.
A+, man. Oh, yeah. Even Eli is even given the fantastic. When deer jerky gets the chef's kiss, oh.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about the deer jerky that just I have a buddy that brings me some. He brings me just like a bag full, and it's gone in a day. I'm like, yeah. If I were to ever get a deer, and I'm not much of a hunter, but I would be like, I'd be to say, make the whole deer jerky. We're good. I don't need anything else. Just make it all jerky.
You other things I think you'd mix in there, but yeah, good luck to you, man. I hope you get one today.
Rick says, "Go Hawks." I think most people are feeling that way. Do you get into the homecoming thing? I mean, you were a season ticket holder for years. Of course, you dropped out of DMAC, so we know you're not a graduate. But do you still like the homecoming aspect?
Trying to get the kid to help me with the dog. Travis, you kind of touched on it there. Eli, hey buddy, will you come help me with the dogs?
The good thing is this is social media, so nobody really cares.
Right. And I am at home. I'm headed down here in a little bit. My wife is already in Florida, and then tomorrow I'm headed to Vegas to meet my wife in Vegas. So she's
going to Florida, and then she's going to Vegas?
Yeah.
Wow. Real estate doing you good, son.
Real estate's doing me well. That is true. But Aaron, the medical field that she works in, man, they need time. They need time away. So her and her friends are going today to Florida. And there's a dog fight in the house.
You know what? My dog never, ever barks. Like well, I shouldn't say that. No, I shouldn't, but not like that, right? It's not that incessant whining bark like you have. Don't you know how to train your dog very well?
That's the Australian Shepherd, okay?
Okay.
They should just call
He's the dog you don't like, right?
We should just call you Australian Barkers. This is the dog that my dad bought for us when we lost Mickey or Yogi. Sorry, we lost Yogi, the sheepdog, and my dad bought us this Australian Barker. Love her to death.
I'm with you. I got you. Hey, don't forget Sound Off coming up after the game. You can join me, Ross, Sean Roberts, who's sitting over there from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock tonight at 284-1040. Or you can also follow us and talk to us on Twitter at WHO Radio Sound Off. Ross, I'm looking forward to getting in the studio. I think it's going to be a good game. There's only one real gold today, and it's the Iowa Gold, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. There's so much at stake each week here. If the Hawks keep winning, the ceiling is really high right now, man. I hate to start putting that cart in front of that horse, but man, it's a fun thing to think about that this team with this defense and this improving offense has a really high ceiling right now. So really excited, man. Look forward to this kickoff.
What we just saw in the Minnesota-Nebraska game, if you can run the football and control the clock, that's all you have to do, and that's what Minnesota did against Nebraska. Ran the football, had the ball 36 minutes in that game, Ross. So it's a formula that works, and it's a formula that I was using for a long time.
Over and over. The thing I think it is disciplined football. Kirk Ferentz and his staff, this Hawkeye football team, they play disciplined football. We've even seen against Maryland like a lot of penalties. So I want to see all of those things continue, and I do think. I do think that Purdue is a team that has the ability with one guy in David Bell to put up a couple of touchdowns. So if the offense totally lays an egg today and the defense happens to stub their toe a bit, we might have a different sound off than we're hoping for. But I do think the Hawkeyes win this game like 24-10. I mean, Purdue put up 13 points in the last 3 weeks against way worse defenses than this Hawkeye team. So
Dane, who's, I believe, watching on Facebook in Neola, Iowa, says, Purdue, this is one of my favorite jokes because it's an oldie but a goodie, right? More like Purdue. And we'll close on that.
See what you did there, Dane. I see what you did. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. He's that creative. And that's what those Western Iowa guys do, man. Western Iowa has a lot of creative people over there.
It's the water. It's the water from the wells.
You remember, we're going to do a Blue Moon stop. We're going to take the Sound Off crew, and we're going to go to the Blue Moon, Tripper's Blue Moon in Neola, and have some beer.
I'm down, man. Yeah. I can probably do whiskey while I'm there, right?
Yeah, you can. And pickled eggs, pickled pig's feet.
No.
And no pickled pig's feet?
No pickled eggs. No pickled anything.
No, pickled everything. Pickled asparagus, pickled garlic.
I don't really care for pickled cucumbers.
Oh, dude. We got to have a talk. Got to have a talk. Yeah. All right, buddy.
Tate, come here. Here, say hi to everybody, Tate. There's the chaos. The chaos is ensuing.
Yeah, see, the key is 2 dogs. My wife only allows 1 dog. And
yeah, you know what? My wife has a husband that only allowed 1 dog.
Yeah, but your wife overruled you. All right, we'll see when you get in the studio, buddy.